Welcome back, everyone. Here we have Megane, the co-founder and CEO of Developers Institute, and she will be discussing the question that has crossed to everyone's mind. Why should we go to the university? With the explosion of digital technology and unlimited access to knowledge via internet, the traditional school seems to be a bit outdated, right? So go to university for what?
Please, Megan, stage is yours and tell us everything about this topic.
Thank you so much, Mariam and Anastasia, for this awesome introduction. Let me tell you a bit more about myself, about and what kind of stage I had in my life. I would love to help you answer this question. So my name is Megane Dreyfuss. I'm a French-Israeli entrepreneur, and I have a master's degree in international affairs from the Catholic University of Lille. Because of the pressure of my parents and the society, I basically wanted to go to study at university. I was not a very good student at school. I was not a very good student in high school either. My grades were not the best. I was not the most clever student, or the cleverest, as you said. And for me, school was so much theory and no practical. I quickly understood that the university world was clearly disconnected from the real world. So I went to my first day of university and I got fired from my first class because in 2010 I opened my computer and the teacher said, "This is a course without computer. You need to take papers. You need to take notes on papers with a pen," like 10, 20 years ago. And I didn't understand. I said, how come you're not connected? You need to teach me how to live with the computer, not how to separate myself from the computer. Today, we spend 20, 30, 20 hours more on the computers, not just for work, for studying, for having fun, and also to play movies. So at the beginning, I understood that one university was maybe not for me, but because of the pressure of the society, I went there. And then on the second point, when I realized the world around me, I realized that maybe in this new world, the university is not responsible for your education. The only one who is responsible for your education is you. So tell me, first of all, do you know where the university is coming from? Um, Especially business school. Do you have an idea? Yeah? No? Let me tell you. Business school is coming from back then the Chamber of Commerce. Um, People with big corporation working in big corporation wanted to make sure that the new people coming in their companies had enough education in law, in languages, and in accounting. When is the last time you used those subjects? Did you really use what you've learned from your law courses 10 years ago today? No, because I learned French law and today I'm in an international organization. So almost everything I learned about law, accounting, or languages is not just usable. So I realized also slowly that um, just after university, I might need to find a job, right? Look around you guys. What kind of job can you see today? What kind of job do we have available? We mainly have jobs available in, I would say, the startup industry and the high-tech industry. So let me, first of all, tell you a bit more about the startup. Can you give me a definition of a startup? No? Let me tell you about that. So my favorite definition is coming from Steve Blank. He is a serial entrepreneur, teaches to Imperial Berkeley about startup, about new economy. And I really like his definition of a startup. A startup is a company or an organization, a temporary organization, which is aiming for a business model, and this business model should be profitable, replicable, and scalable. So again, a startup is a temporary organization that gives the opportunity to their owner to use a business model which is profitable, scalable, and repeatable. In other words, today, if you want to work in a startup, you need to understand how to survive before that the cash is totally earned. The other thing you need to understand is nobody cares about what you've done at school. Everybody cares about what are you able to do, what's your drive, what are you passionate about. And the last thing that people will ask you into a startup, even if you're doing customer service, is to understand a bit more about coding. So I saw around me while I was studying that the entire world was emerging to something new. And I needed to be the actress of my education. So on my first year, I went to the dean, the responsible of the university, and I told him that this is not going to work between us. If he doesn't let me do what I feel is right, I will leave the university. So I asked him, I said, listen, I can see that your university has a tremendous amount of partnerships all around the world. Give me the opportunity for 5 years to study every single year in a different country. So on the first year, I went to West Virginia. I'm pretty sure that none of you guys knows where is West Virginia. I'm not talking about Virginia. I'm talking about West Virginia. This is the poorest state in America, but I didn't care. That was America, and that was enough for me to learn how to speak English. Look at me today. The second year of university, I convinced the dean, the administration of the university, to give me an opportunity and study in Rome, in Catholic University. Knowing that I was Jewish, I knew it's going to be a challenge. But I learned so much about people I never really met before that for me it was a very good way, first of all, to learn Italian, but also to see a different perspective on something I knew. My third year was in Belgium. I decided to do an internship as an HR, just to understand what's going on. So after those 5 years, I got my degree. I was very happy, but I got more lost than when I was how that I was at the first day of my university. The 5 years of education didn't help me at all understand what kind of job I want to do and what I like to do. So that was a very, very, very big problem for me. So I decided to join the HR industry, so the human resources industry, because for me it was the best way to understand what kind of jobs are today in the market and what kind of pay you can get from them. Because yes, if you listen to everyone telling you, oh, don't choose your job based on the pay, then you don't understand what's going on today. You need to choose a job that you like, but also getting you money. Because with the best willpower ever, you will never be able to pay your rent. You need to make sure that you can pay your rent. So I decided to work in the HR industry, but I really like challenges and I wanted to add myself a new challenge. I wanted to learn a new language. Back then, I didn't speak Hebrew at all, not so. I decided to lie to my job interview, which was not the best thing. I'm sorry if my bosses are listening to me now. I decided to lie and tell them I was speaking Hebrew perfectly. I learned my entire interview by heart. I can introduce myself in Hebrew, even without even understanding what I was saying. But it was okay because I knew that on the go, I will learn not just about HR, I will learn a language and a job. And that's what I did. I stayed there for 1 year, a bit more actually. Um, I was doing every day, I was writing to myself 100 words I could learn from Hebrew. And this is how I got so proficient in Hebrew. I also learned the job on the go. After 1 year, I realized that HR is not for me. I don't like this job. I simply don't like it. The second thing is, I understood that the most successful people learn on using Udemy, using boot camps, coding boot camps, using all kind of free resources that are available today on the web, like the Garage from Google, Facebook print, Udemy courses. And the last thing I understood is that marketing and developers are basically the two biggest jobs that are offering today the best opportunities. So I knew I wanted to go to those jobs. I tried to code by myself, I didn't succeed. So I decided to go on marketing. I got a job into a marketing company, an Israeli marketing company. My job was the coolest. I was basically managing Facebook apps and helping them to grow and monetize their traffic. I was dealing with millions of euros and I was dealing with Facebook traffic, which was great. I learned so much. For 3 years, I learned so much about traffic, about acquisition, about marketing. And uh, I understood that when you touch to one of the GAFA products, so what is GAFA? It's Google, Amazon, Facebook, or Apple. The other competitor is suddenly very interested in you. After a few years working for this company, I got simply an email from Google saying that they would like to do an interview with me. Me, Megan, the bad student, the student who never really got good grades, got suddenly a job opportunity at Google. I understood that it was my only way to succeed. So I did everything for this to work. So what I did, I read everything on Glassdoor. If you don't know this website, go to it's a website that gives you a lot of advice on how to get into companies, what kind of interview questions they can ask you, and what kind of perks you can have. So I read everything on Glassdoor talking about Google. I interviewed more than 100 people who got in Google or got out Google. I wanted to know what is the most successful way to get in, and I really wanted to know what I should never say and what I should never do in order not to be fired from Google. This is how I've built my entire academy around Google. And the last thing I did is I prepared every single 8 interviews like it was the last one and like it was my best chance. After 8 interviews, I got the job and I was the happiest girl on earth. I was basically managing the telco industry for the French market. I went to my boss the first day and very candidly, I told him, I said, I don't understand. Why did you hire me? Why me? I have no at all experience in telecommunications. And I don't have a lot of experience in the French market. I've been traveling around for 10 years. And she told me something that still stays in my mind. They said that they didn't care about my competence skills. The only thing they cared was how I was a self-mentor. And this is what helped me get into Google. Um, so just after, if I can give you one little advice about that, is that like if you want to apply to a job and you are perfect for the job, this is not the right job for you. After 2 or 3 months, you're gonna be bored, and no one wants to have a bored employee. If you want to get to a job, it should be your next step. This is the best way for you to build a career. After a few years at Google, I realized that I really wanted to understand the entire market of the marketing industry and not just through the spectrum of Google. So I met the smallest competitor of Google called Criteo. Maybe you don't know him. They're competitors on tools on a product called retargeting. And I joined them for 2 reasons. The first one is I wanted to see how David and Goliath, how David is fighting against Goliath, how such a small company can still compete with this giant called Google. And the second thing is, I always preferred underdogs. I think that underdogs are by far the one who can take you very far in the competition. During this time, I took my first entrepreneurial journey and I wrote my first massive online open course. So what it's called, basically a little academy class. And when I wrote this course, I learned everything I know today about marketing. And I understood that if you really want to teach something, if you really want to learn something, I'm sorry, you should teach it. If you really want to learn something, you should definitely teach it. So that moment I realized that I was passionate about education and marketing. So that's what at that moment I met Oussama Amar and Ali Zagouri, which are two very big figures in the French industry of the startup industry. I met them. I told them about my story, and I also told them about my dream company, the company I will launch. And they asked me many questions about it. So it might be counterintuitive, but when you have an idea of a company, never keep it for yourself. Always, always share everything about it. Who knows? You might meet your co-founders on the way. And this is what happened to me. They asked me to describe my goal and my favorite company in the world. I described my dream. And when they understood my dream, they hired me as their co-founder. With Ali Zagouri, Usama Amar, and the entire team of the family, we launched a free, intensive, and selective course for startup employees. Right. I realized that there is so many trainings to become the best developer or the best marketer, the best entrepreneur. We never ever think about employees, the employees of startups. We never train them. This is such a different world. This is so different from university or big corporations. We need to teach employees. And this is how Lion, the name of my savings school, came up. So Lion is a school that selects um, the students to become the best startup employees. And who is their teachers? It's not me. It's not university teachers. It's basically 300 entrepreneurs and startup employees who are talking to my people, to my students, the same way they talk to their employees. And this is how we created a free, intensive, and highly selective class and program to those people. Yes, entrepreneurs never ask to get paid for giving class. The same way I don't get paid for giving this talk. Why? Because I want to give back. We receive so much from the market, from our hiring, from all around the world, from the media, that we as entrepreneurs feel that we need to give back. So why Usama and Ali hired me? They hired me because of my expertise, because of my drive, and also because of my chutzpah. So chutzpah is a Hebrew word that's very well known all around the world. It's basically being audacious. Be audacious. You have no choice. All right. So after a few years, I realized that we launched the biggest school of startup employees. We have more than 4,000 students and 300 entrepreneur teachers. This is amazing. A few years later, I was looking at the market and I realized that yes, it's great. If you have the right mindset and you use the right tool, you're very good startup employee. But you need to know how to code. The problem is that I personally still didn't know how to code. So what do you think I did? Yes, you're right. I built a coding school. I didn't know anything about coding. I tried to learn on my own. I was really hard, and no one explained me how to start from scratch. I started those Udemy courses and those open classroom courses. And at the middle, I felt very lost because no one was giving me feedback about exercises I was producing. So I got very frustrated. So what I did, I came back to Israel and I started to talk to a lot of people. I was meeting 20 people a day and I was telling my story. I was telling my idea. Hi, I have this idea of launching a coding school with mindset. And then I met my co-founder, Jeremy Berby and Avner Maman. Jeremy Berby and Avner Maman are both 40, 45 years old males, really like me, you were very, very different. We don't have the same level of religion. We don't have the same level of education as well. So I tried to get an interest from them. And at the beginning, they just laughed at me. They're like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure that this is going to work out. Maybe you should go and see our competitors. I told them and I said that I wanted to work with them and not someone else. It took me 3 months to convince them. I told them, you want to launch a school? I understand, but you still have no physical school. You still have no students, you still have no teachers, and you have no staff. Let me be your operational manager. Let me be the one who's going to take care of all of this. And this is how we started. I made a deal with them. I said, you know what? Give me 3 months. If after 3 months you're not satisfied by my work, just give me the opportunity to study for free in the school. I will do 3 months of work for you. If you're not happy, don't pay me. Just give me the opportunity to study. What do you think that happened after 3 months? I worked very hard. I launched the first class. I had 10 students. I sat in the class. I opened my computer and I started coding. And then my two co-founders came to me. I'm sorry, you cannot sit in class. And I told them, I said, I don't understand. I thought we had a deal. I thought you gave me the opportunity to launch the school. If you don't like my work, let me sit in the school. And they gave me right away a founder agreement. They gave me right away a founder agreement. And they told me, you're going to be the co-founder. You are the one that we want in the team. So yes, at the beginning, they didn't want me. I was not coming from the right university. I didn't know how to code. I was a girl. Why me? And I proved them. I showed them that I was the best element for the team. And this is how today I can proudly tell you that I am a co-founder of the second best coding school in Israel. Why? Because we believe in what we do, we believe in our mission, and we care about our students. And this is the real reason why we succeed. Not because we're the smartest one, not because we have connections or money. No, we succeed because we believe in what we do and what we say. Um, Today, the school is uh, has more than 400 students, 10 teachers. We are in the center of Tel Aviv, and we have. I'm so proud of my students and my partners and my clients. I'm so proud of this ecosystem, and this is the reason why I'm doing this talk to talk about them because they deserve to be talked about. Today at Developers Institute, we have three main objectives. The first one is to help individuals to understand and learn how to code. The second one is to give the opportunity to religious Jews, refugees, new immigrants, women to understand and get their first lessons of code. And the last thing is to build a community of leaders and people who have the common mindset. Because with a network and with the right education, the sky is the limit. Believe me. So today we're offering three kind of courses. We used to offer only physical courses, but like everybody else, Corona hit us, and it hit us very hard. So we had to find a solution. Um, Instead of crying and complaining about Corona and saying that Corona killed our industry, I thought with my co-founder, what kind of opportunity this Corona can give us? What kind of opportunity this COVID can give us? I understood that very easily. We can do like everyone else, give some Zoom classes, online classes. This is how we came up with our new product, the online live. Basically, you're online, but you're in direct live with the teacher. That way, we could teach coding not just in Israel, but all over the world. And this is what I want to tell you. When life is giving you lemon, make lemonade. Don't cry over it. So, my last part for the last 5 minutes is basically my future, what I think about the future of universities. I'm not the only one thinking like this. I saw this video from NAS Daily, and it really touched me. I thought it was really good and very centered to be a real problem. Many companies, not just school or restaurants, are going bankrupt because of the corona. And this is a problem. One of the main problems is universities. Because there is no students on campus, because the students don't pay their tuition, universities, hundreds of universities might go bankrupt. And this is, you should not be afraid about that. You should be actually happy about that. Basically, you don't want to pay $40,000 for a class you can have online almost for free. So universities need to pay for their physical building. They need to pay for the teachers. They need to pay for the space. But no one is coming for that. So slowly, they are going to get bankrupt. But don't be sad. Don't be depressed about it. This is a new dawn. This is a new way. And this is, for us, a new life. And for you guys, a new life as a student. We invented internet because of the war. We landed on the moon because of the Cold War. We are going to fix the education thanks to Corona. Today, only 7% of the world population has a degree. And this is not enough. All right? What we need to understand is like basically we can have very good quality education, but pay only 10% because you follow it online or because you have it on Zoom. And this is what universities need to understand. And this is what you guys, as a student, as a university, need to understand. As long as you have the right content and the network out of it, you will be great. So yes, according to specialists, universities are going to get bankrupt. But don't be sad about it. Be happy. We're gonna have a new kind of courses going on called academies, where you're gonna learn a job. If you want to be a nurse, you will go to a nurse academy. If you want to be an engineer, you will go to an engineer academy. If you want to be a marketer, you will go to a marketing academy. So it's okay. Don't be sad. You might actually be able to study 3 months instead of 5 years, and it's okay. As long as you have enough experience and you learn enough about it, you are on the right path of your career. It was a very, very lovely way to meet you guys. I can't wait for your questions now. And I hope you enjoy my talk.
And we're back again. Thank
Together.
you, Megane, so much for the amazing talk.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it was very interesting for us as students, as I've previously mentioned. You talked about university in general, but what about some benefits and that we can get from university? And exactly our first question regards to that point.
So
Annie says, thank you for the interesting talk. My question is, what about other benefits you can get through university, like meeting new people, making connections? Also, I think when you don't know where to start by yourself in terms of learning something particular, it can be an issue to deal with this without any guidance. What solution can you offer?
So, first of all, there is many benefits about university. The first one, and the question is actually answering to the question, is networking. Networking is great, but there is so many other ways to do some networking. You can go do networking by going to do sports. You can do networking by going to another kind of school. You don't have to go to universities. Universities are very costly. And if you want to pay $40,000 to meet someone, that's your problem. I'm just telling you that you can do it a cheaper way. To answer your question, Anastasia, about what kind of, I want to go to university because I don't know where to start and I don't know what to study and I just want to have a trigger. So mainly universities are, I would say 3 to 5 years long, because when we go to university, we're 18, 19 years old, and we're not very mature on what we want to do and what we like to do. So a lot of curriculum and syllabus, they're actually making sure that their curriculum is very long, so you can take time to develop yourself and become more and more mature. So if you don't know what to do when you get into university, I will strongly advise you to go to work for 1 year somewhere in a company, any kind of position. Nobody cares. You will then understand what is it to be a good accountant or what is it to be a good secretary. When you're a secretary, you understand everything about the company. You see the actual paycheck of everyone. You see when everyone is coming home, coming in and coming out. So you see how many people, how many hours people are working. So if you have no idea about what you want to do, go to a company, work in any other kind of job, try not to face the customer, because when you face the customer, you don't learn so much, even if you can learn a lot about sales actually. And if you finish that, then you will have a better understanding of what you want to do and especially what you hate to do. If you already know what you hate to do, this is a very good start. It's answering the question?
Yes, thank you. And what do you think about the part of the field of science where you can get the theoretical parts from studying online, but not the practical one? Like you can watch the videos and see how everything works, but it is different when you're making it yourself. What do you think about that?
I totally agree with you. I think that people that are scientists and they tend to have an academical career as a scientist, as a PhD, as this kind of people, then they should definitely go to university. I don't say that you should kill the universities, but not everyone is fit for university. I am not an academical girl. I hate taking notes. That's the reason why my entire talk is written already, because I don't want anyone to listen to me and take notes. This is very annoying. I didn't like it. I wanted to understand, what am I getting from you? What can I learn from you? And this is what I wanted. So for the scientific part, especially the medicines and doctors, of course, go to university. I don't want to get cured by a doctor who learned how to open a heart on Udemy, of course. But if you want to do something about coding, about marketing, about HR, about not academical job, then think about it twice before joining a university.
You have mentioned also about networking. I don't know, like in every country, what situation it is, but in Georgia, for example, we are studying for 12 years in the same school. We are not even changing buildings from secondary school to high school. So we sometimes get stuck with the environment and with the same people. And for a lot of people in Georgia, university is kind of a breaking moment in their life. They are, they are finding themselves in a totally different environment. They are networking to people they thought they will never have a chance to connect. What about that part?
It was the same for me. I went for 12 years in the same school with the same people. I didn't have a lot of friends, and I was like, oh my God, this is awful. I don't want to do that. But then I realized that there is so many other ways to meet people, especially using your computer. I haven't moved physically from my apartment for 3 months. I talked to Georgian people, I talked to Russian, I talked to Indian, and I talked to Cameroonese. So with a computer, you can do everything. You just need to use it perfectly. And when I say that you can use your computer to network, you can go on Facebook and be all the time on Facebook. This is networking. It depends. If you want to only look at pictures, people's pictures, that's your problem. But you can go on Facebook and take people's news, or give them some ideas, or give them some important lessons. This is why social media has been created. It's not just to do some stupid video on TikTok. It's also to connect people together. So it really depends how you use internet. You have all the tools. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. All the tools are here. You have enough internet. You have a good internet connections. You are educated, you speak English, you have the key already. Just open the door.
You are absolutely right. But in some countries, like there are stereotypes about going to universities. So after high school, you ought to go to the university for your parents to be proud or something like that. And many people need to be brave enough to say that, no, I won't go to the university and I will study online.
Yeah. Or what you don't, it's not university against online. It's university against special courses. So it's okay when you're 18 not to understand what you want to do. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you should stay on your sofa and look at Netflix all day long. It means that you should go outside, have coffee with people, talk with people, tell them, hey, what do you like about your job? What do you hate about your job? And this way you're gonna build your network, but also I would say something a bit more defined about your career. The reason why today I'm sitting in front of you and giving you this talk is because I chat with a tremendous amount of people, and I asked always the same question: what do you like the most in your job? What can I learn from you? And if you do that all the time, every time you meet someone, you will see, first of all, how people love to talk about themselves. They love. And second of all, you will see how you can connect to people, because we're social animal. We love to connect between each other.
I will just have another question. Like we talk about a lot about switching to online or just having it as an opportunity for people. But for some students, it's university that is actually opportunity to have an access to some kind of resources. For example, for some people it's lab, for someone it's just a computer or special books. How do you think should government promotize online school by giving free laptops to people who are in need of it, or like
who don't have access to it, to the tools?
What is the role of government and the educational system?
So very good question. First, you need to understand that I hate politics because I'm not good at it. I don't want to work for a government because I hate it. I don't hate a particular government, but politics in general is very confused because it's a lot of interest common for one thing. So to answer your question, I think the only job that the government should make sure of or should take care of is to offer to their population free and fast internet. I think that internet is like electricity or education. It should be free at the minimal stage. That's the first thing. I don't think that government should give scholarships or subsidiary for anyone, because as soon as you get help, you want more help and more help and more help and more help, and you never ever know how to do it on your own. The reason why today Uber or any other startup is succeeding, it's because they had no choice. Or you win or you die. It's like this. So if you get help from the government, you always tell yourself, it's okay, I have a safety net. No one has a safety net. This is post-corona time. There is no safety net. You need to walk or you die. Is it answering your question?
Thank you a lot. Yes, thank you for like a fresh new look to this subject.
I have one more question that I'm very interested about. You mentioned that you work for Google. And can you tell us more about the phase you got through? Like, I know for Google to get the job there, you have to go through a lot of interviews and tasks. And how did you manage that?
So interviews, Google is very wow, okay, but it's a company like another one. Don't get me wrong. It's a huge company with huge amount of money. So you will never learn anything bad about Google because they have so much money that they buy everyone who are actually against it. So working for Google, first of all, you need to get through 8 interviews. 8 is a lot. In order to do so, I went to Glassdoor, like I explained to you guys. It's like a super cool website. I'm going to write it here on the public chat. Glassdoor. This is like a really cool website. It's a website that gives you a lot of information about companies, about interviews you should do there, and what kind of job you can have. And basically, I read everything about Google on this company. So I knew how to get in my position and exactly what to say during the interview. And then I realized as well that for Google, it's very important to show what you're doing except your job. So I was telling about the fact that I was giving lessons in marketing. I was telling about the fact that I played the piano for 12 years. I was giving some information about the fact that I've lost something like 20 kilos by doing sport every day. They didn't care about my balance, but what they wanted to see is if she has something in mind, how strong she is. And this is what I showed them. Answering your question?
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yes. I think the same. The experiences and skills you got besides university, like based on your interest, is something that is very worth it for a lot of companies, not only Google, but big companies that are looking for personalities and how you are looking on your personal growth. So thank you very much for
thank you so much.
Thank you, girl.
And now thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you. Also, Megan shared some doc about students, and who wants, we can share anytime. It's all about what you can just put it on our public chat.
Yeah, I just wrote my address on the public chat. So if you want to reach out to me, feel free. And also, girls, I wanted to let you know what you're doing. This is so much more than university. You're 19 years old. You were telling me about your life just before the talk is starting. And this is what you should do. You are on the right path. You're only 19. And this is great. If you do that already when you're 19, what you're going to do when you're going to be my age, 30? Please call me. I want to see that. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
So I guess we're out of time, and we're going to go on a break. Thank you so much for everything, Megan.
Here. No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.